Hey friends and family, my name's Brandy at Inner Peace Farm School. Just wanting to talk to you guys a little bit today about fermented foods. So do any of you guys ever suffer from digestive troubles, gas, bloating, constipation? Or do you have some chronic disease or illness that medications aren't improving, like diabetes, heart disease, cancer? Well, fermented foods can help you by improving your digestion. Fermented foods repopulate your gut with good bacteria, making your body able to assimilate nutrients from your food better. Fermented foods help you eliminate better, giving you a slimmer waistline. So, I'm going to show you guys today how you can make fermented food, cabbage sauerkraut, out of fresh vegetables that you see here. We have red cabbage that we're going to put into our sauerkraut. And we're going to add just a little sea salt. What you want to start off with is a fermentation vessel. This is a crock pot, a German crock pot, which is what I have found to be an easy, super easy way to make sauerkraut. Next you need cabbage. These are organic red cabbages. This is a small head, so for this recipe we're going to use about 10 of these small heads of cabbage. You're also going to need a food processor, but you could chop your cabbage up by hand, but I'm going to be using a food processor. So I have a cleaver style knife and a head of cabbage. I'm going to cut the cabbage in half, and then I'm going to cut it in quarters, and then cut it again in eighths. So I'm cutting the cabbage and making it small enough to fit down into my food processor. So once you've chopped them up, you put them in the food processor and you're going to pulse them. You're going to pulse the cabbage until you've got it grated pretty finely. So this is about the texture of the cabbage after I've grated it in the food processor. While you're food processing your cabbage, you're also going to add in little bits of sea salt. So once you've got your salt mixture and your cabbage shredded up, you're going to take it and you're going to bring it and put it into your fermentation vessel. So once you've got your cabbage into the crock pot, mix it in. Just stick your hand down in there and mix your cabbage. So you're going to let your cabbage sit out in your crock pot overnight, and you are, in the morning time, you're going to add these weighted stones. You put those on top of the kraut, and at that point, a brine liquid is going to rise up. And that's very important that there's a liquid brine that rises over top of those stones in your crock pot. And this is what really makes this crock pot so unique and amazing for making sauerkraut, is that this lid, you seal the lid with water. Fermentation crock pot doesn't allow any bugs or air to get in your crock pot, but it has two holes on the sides that allow any gases that are being generated by the kraut. It allows your crock pot to kind of like burp, so to speak, as it's fermenting. And that's basically it, guys. That's how you make sauerkraut at home for pennies on the dollar. Very, very inexpensive to make. This is a probiotic powerhouse that helps to aid your digestion. And it's going to take 6 weeks. This is a slow ferment, 6 weeks. And then we'll be left with about 2.5 gallons of organic sauerkraut. You don't have one of these fancy German crock pots. You can also use a mason jar. This is a pint-sized mason jar. And this is actually the first time I'm doing this. I just use the crock pot. But I know a lot of friends and family that probably want to try this recipe out, but they don't have this big fancy crock pot. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You're going to chop up your cabbage in the food processor nice and fine, just like you did before. And you can also add salt into the mixture, just a little sea salt. And then we're going to take and add some cabbage juice because you're going to want that mixture to be nice and wet. Okay, so I'm just adding back maybe about a half a cup of cabbage juice. And you're going to take a piece of cheesecloth and you're going to fix it on the top of the jar, just like this. And this is a quick kraut recipe that's going to take anywhere from 3 to 7 days to ferment. It's probably going to have a sharper, more sour taste to it because this would be a quick fermented kraut. But if you don't have the fancy crock pot, you can try it out and see how it goes. So I'm going to have to give you guys an update, let you know how this little jar of sauerkraut worked out. I store them. This is just an old refrigerator that doesn't work anymore. And just stick our crock pots down in here. You can see that our crock pots are sealed with water so that no bacteria can get in, but any gas bubbles can come out. And you can see the thermometer there, high humidity, 66 degrees. I actually just put some ice packs in here to try to bring the temperature down. I like 55, between 55 and 60 degrees. So you guys, sauerkraut is an incredible addition to your diet. Probiotics, adding good bacteria to your digestive system. So please make sauerkraut and let us know how you like this recipe.